I think one of the groups, the hip hop groups that people associate you with is I.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, Zumbi.
Yeah.
That was my guy.
Yeah.
Great person.
Great person.
How did you link up with I?
Okay, so when I used to perform locally, and I used to do like, I really started doing like a cappella music. I would just like sing a song on my own a cappella, and then I was like, singing with other folks a cappella. And then I was like, then I started singing over instrumentals and like then grew to having a band and stuff. But I went away to Berklee College of Music in Boston for like, I was out there for like 2 years, and I was working on class assignments, but I knew I wanted to be a songwriter and I knew I wanted to have an album. So I was really starting to record my EP. Even though they were really like starting as class assignments, that I was like turning in, like, you only have to turn in like 16 bars, but I'm like, but I'm gonna record a song, and started working with amazingly talented people out there. One of those folks was Jeff Basker, who's gone on to be like the top producer, like of all, just amazing producer that's worked with, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, all these folks. But when I moved back here, I was like, who should I work with? And Zion was like blowing up the scene out here. And I was always going to like La Pena and,
right.
Like different venues where there was a lot of underground music, and they were killing it. And I feel like maybe Martin Luther introduced me to them. What's weird? I don't know if he introduced me to them or if I met him in the studio working with them at the same time. It all kind of happened around the same time. But I met Amp Live, that was producing all this stuff, and Steve, who went by Zumbi later, there, and we started recording stuff. And then Amp is actually the co-producer of Closer,
right?
Him and Mike Tiger. Then, so that was like, it really, I felt like was just meant to be. And we did a lot of songs together. Like Zumbi was on my albums. I was on the Zion albums, and just a good vibe. And I think they also brought some energy, even though they're very much associated with the Bay Area. They're from other places too, so it was like bringing
Amplifies from Texas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I forget where Steve's from.
Yeah, I think he grew up partly in the Bay Area, but then there was also like a little bit of a Tribe Called Quest type of influence, and just like just really quality music. So anyways, they were in the extended music family. And definitely I was working with Souls and Hyro, and we were like exchanging creatively. Like A+ would produce something and I would sing on a hook, and Pep Love and Casual would, be on a verse, and I would, do some other hook. And then we ended up doing distribution of that first album with our family label Skyblaze.
Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay. Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay.